What kind of trucking job can I get? I want to be a truck driver and make a lot of money. But if I can't be a big-time owner-operator with my brand new CDLs, what can I do? Previously, we did a video on lease purchase for rookies, the reasons why to stay away from it. I'm gonna give you options for good company gigs where you can make even more money than what you can do as being a lease purchase operator.
Do you even trucker, bro?
If you're watching this video, you're doing research on what to do in the trucking industry. Maybe before, all you thought it was just holding a steering wheel. And yes, there's jobs out there where all you have to do is hold a steering wheel and maybe bump a dock maybe every couple of days. But I'm gonna sit here and tell you that that's not where the money is. Think of it like this. The more you have to do, the more money you make. If all you do is just sit around all day and hold the steering wheel, more than likely, you're just doing a minimum wage job in the trucking industry. So I'm giving you 4 different things you should think about to do in the trucking industry for your first trucking job as a truck driver. Do you even trucker, bro? Number 1, and probably the easiest one to get into, flatbed. Flatbed opens you up to a lot of different things that you can do in the trucking industry that a reefer driver can't do, but it's going to take work. But most of the time these flatbedders get paid for everything they do. The job pays better, but it requires a lot more work. At times like this where it's 100 degrees outside or when it's -20, you're still required to change, strap, tarp, do all that stuff. It's difficult work, but when you sit there and you do it repetitively over and over and over again. And listen, I'm gonna tell you guys, even though flatbedders can't back, there's a sense of brotherhood amongst flatbedders. And then you got guys like me that like to, well, have to back up their trailers for them at a truck stop. I've done it. No, I haven't. Yeah, I have. 5 times. Do you even trucker, bro? So flatbedding ain't your gig. You want to stay hauling dry van, but you want something that's different and you want to be home. Want to do all these things and still make good money. Dedicated work. But it goes back to the saying, the more that you do, the more you get paid. So if you're just doing drop and hook dedicated work, that could be consistent money, but is that consistent money good? It could be, but you're only allowed to drive so many hours a day in a week. So it's not like the old days where you could go fudge your logbook and do all that number. No, you have to do, 70 hours is all you got. That's all you have. Can you get a whole bunch of drop and hooks in? You could, and there's companies that could pay, so you really have to do your research. But as far as dedicated work go, it's been my experience when you deliver to retail stores, when you have multiple drops on a trailer, you get paid all these drops. And what is dedicated? Well, you may ask, well, what is dedicated? Dedicated is where you go and you work and you pull loads for one particular company, just one, all right? You may have to do a backhaul, but it's pretty much is all one company. And the company, and listen, these companies can pay really good on this because you wanna know why? Because that company that hires the trucking company pays a good rate. And a good company will pass that down to the driver. That way they could have good, dependable drivers, and that's what they're looking for. They're looking for good, solid, dependable drivers that ain't gonna go anywhere, that's not afraid to work. Not only will you get paid for that, but you have your consistent work. You get to know your customers. You get to do all this stuff, and you have consistent home time. Many dedicateds I've been on, I worked Monday through Friday, made good, solid money. Solid money working Monday through Friday. That's just it, hauling one company. I made friends that I had for a lifetime, still to this day. I've got friends that I worked with 10 years ago that I'm like Facebook friends with now because I worked with them 10 years ago. Dedicated work is a really good job if you don't want to do any of these other things. Hey you, hey, can you hear me? You even trucker, bro? Next on the list is local work. Local work, yes. There are companies out there that will hire rookies. Now, they are few and far between, so you really have to look for them. But if you can get that job, a lot of these local jobs, you actually make really good, solid money. And drivers stay there forever. When you sit there and find a company driver that's been a local driver at that same company for 20 years, that must say something. So be on the lookout for local jobs. in your area because they'll haul them. Now granted, some local jobs don't pay well, but a lot of them pay really well. And guess what? You're home every day. You're home every day and you still get to drive the truck. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. I've done local work. Sometimes they didn't pay, sometimes they paid excellent.
Do you even trucker, bro?
And then finally on our list is specialized. Now, a lot of this stuff that I'm telling you about can be considered specialized. Okay, they're specialized, what have you. But let's talk about a little bit more in depth what specialized is. So when you're hauling a flatbed, specialized would mean oversized, overweight, and stuff like that. So you got to get your foot in the door with that. But the most specialized job out there that's going to pay well, and a lot of these jobs will pay you over $100,000 a year as a freaking company driver. And what is that? Tanker jobs, right? Tanker yankers, being a tanker yanker. Now, they don't all do that, but a lot of times you have to get your foot in the door. And being a rookie coming in, there are trucking jobs out there, trucking companies that train on the tanker side. You can look them up for yourself. It's not as physical as flatbed. You still get out of the truck and do things, right? You go to a lot of factories, you go, say if you're in the oil fields, there's a lot of tanker jobs in the oil fields. And speaking of oil field jobs, that falls under specialized. There's a lot of oil field companies out there. But let's just face it, if the oil fields ain't big in your area, you're gonna be gone for a while, unless it's big in your area. You know, and then you can be home like every day. But if it ain't, you'll have to travel and you'll stay in one single part of the country for months at a time. That's up to you, but it's good money and they do hire rookies that they will train you to do that work. Look in a tanker to see if there's anything for you. That's going to be some of the highest paid in all four of these categories. Is some of the highest paid in all the trucking industry. Don't believe that OTR myth is the best. We're going to discuss that in another daggum video. Do you even trucker, bro? Bottom line is, do your research. Know your qualities, what you like to do, not what you think you could do, well, that looks cool, maybe I could. No, know what you can do. Know your gifts. If you're in shape, if you know that, get into flatbed. If you're not so in shape, but you're looking to get in shape and you're young, still maybe flatbed. You know, maybe you're older or whatever and you still want to do something like this, dedicated, maybe your gig or tanker. There's all sorts of options. Number one thing, do your research. And if you're watching videos like this, you're doing your research. Hey, I appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of garbage and hit that like button. We'll see you next time. And oh, by the way, before we go, if you have any questions about trucking in general, put them in the comments right here below.
Do you even trucker, bro? Do you even trucker, bro? Hey, you, trucker. Hey, do you even trucker, bro?
Too busy truckering.